Hello, hello. How's it going, everyone? Yo, yo, plummet down. David Tay. Hello, hello. Hold on, let me just manage this sound situation. Okay. Everything looking good so far, I think. Everything looking good so far. What's good, QFK? How's it going? What's good? Everybody's on time. I'm on time. You're on time. We're all on time. We are all on time. We are all flying on this Boeing 737 MAX. Nothing wrong with this airplane. No whistleblowers killed for this airplane. We're all flying high. All now that the government shutdown is over, we're flying in the fly high skies. Ah. What's good, everyone? What's good? Um Lots to talk about today. I mean, lots been said already that probably don't really need to rehash too much. I mean, Haas kind of already talked to a lot about it already on his stream. You know, kind of the basic points. No need to rehash all that. Um, Wait, how cold is it in New York right now? Oh man. So QFK, as I told you before, I am 10 days now off tetrahydrocannabinol. It's not a fun experience. If you've ever gotten addicted to weed and not gotten addicted again, yeah, it's not the greatest. As you can see, I haven't even made my bed for the stream. That's not that I really make it. I just throw my blanket on the thing. I'll just do that right now. I'll just do that right now. Just covering up. Cover it up. My messiness. That's how I do it. That's what I do. How's it going, holy cow? Checking in SAR. 30s now. 30s. Oh shit. Man, that fucking sucks. I'm going to New York next week. Actually, not even next week. It's gonna be 4 days. 4 days. In 4 days. 48, 96 hours. Or 90 around 99 hours. My plane will be taking off. 99 hours from now, I will be coming back to New York. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can. Let's wait till a few more other people get in before I get started. But I'll just put the NGL link that nobody uses, but I'll just put it in anyway because why not, right? Why not? Why not? Why not? How long would I be gone? I'll just be gone for a week. Usually, you know, since I moved to LA and even college, really, it's pretty much like ever since I graduated from high school. I no, actually, I was in New York, right? I was living in New York for 6 years, so not that time, but ever since I've been to college or um, living in LA, um, I usually go back to New York for Thanksgiving and damn it, am I bleeding? Damn it. Am I bleeding? No, I don't think so. It's just fucking annoying. Um I usually go for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Christmas is a little longer. I usually take like 2 weeks off because like nothing fucking happens, especially in the industry. But that's what I used to be in, right? In LA. Nothing really happens. Nothing really happens in the month of December during the industry, to be honest. I really should just like I should have just taken the whole month off and gone back to New York. But as I've gotten older, it's I've gotten softer in my old age, especially living in LA. So I don't particularly like the cold weather David's referring to, especially if it's already 30. I thought there was supposed to be global warming. Where's this global warming we're talking about here? It's just, what are we talking about? It's fucking global cooling. If you're planning on taking the subway, see if you can skip the fare at Canal Street specifically. Usually there's a hobo holding the emergency gate. Well, there you go. Anyone going to New York? Pro tip, get in on Canal Street. That way you can take advantage of the subway hobo. Maybe flip him a quarter or two for his services, Beats paying that $2.75. Is it $2.75 these days? I think it's $2.75, right? Pay the hobo a quarter. Pay the subway hobo troll a quarter and get in. $2.90. God, they made it such an annoying amount too. Like $2.90. Who makes it fucking $2.90? They just don't want the sticker shock of it being $3. $3 to use that piece of shit fucking subway. Like, that subway is like literally has not changed since I used it in fucking like, I want to say even fucking high school. I think I've used it for the first time when I was in high school. Maybe not. Maybe in college. I think college was the first time I used New York City subway. But I remember that was like, early 2000s. It has not fucking changed. Like, it added like 3 stations, right? The cars haven't changed. Sometimes they still use the shitty fucking cars that don't even have AC. Oh my God. If you are in New York City and it is summertime and you take one of those fucking cars that don't have AC and it stinks like shit too, because of people pissing and shitting all over fucking, like, holy shit. How did we not have a communist revolution already in New York? Like, how did people take that for 30 years? It was so terrible. If you're ever in New York, do not take the E line. The 8th Street fucking subway, or the 8th Avenue subway. Ugh, that's the worst. I mean, I feel like the decent ones are like kind of like the 6th line, the 456, the green line. That's like usually like they have the cleaner cars, the newer, the 1990s cars, like the 2000s, 1990s cars. That's how old those cars. Like, when you say the new cars are from the fucking 1990s, that's how you know New York City is fucking retarded. Like, Jesus. Fucking MTA, Metro Authority, Metro North. They're all a fucking scam. The fucking Port Authority of New Jersey and New York. God damn it. We need a communist revolution 30 years ago. Checking in SAR, at least they cleaned up the graffiti sprayed on the subways. I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, but that was like, all that graffiti, that was done in like the 1980s. When shit was really fucking bad. 1970s, 1980s, when shit was really fucking bad in New York. Like, damn. Crazy thing I saw on this train was a smaller rat being eaten by a bigger rat. That is tasty. I've seen rats carry around like slices of pizza. I'm like, that is the most New York thing I'm seeing in my life. In the subways, you're seeing your pizza here, New York City pizza, being carried away into a subway by this rat. My dread is to go to New York while it's snowing and smoke a cigar. Dream. Dread or dream? I think that was a Freudian slip there, QFK. I think that was a fucking Freudian slip right there. Right there. Actually, New York is nice when it is snowing. I'm not going to lie. Especially if you're living in Manhattan and it's just like covered in snow, so you can't go anywhere. But you can kind of walk around though, but you can't like drive around. But it kind of creates this sort of like you're all in one big fort, and it's kind of cozy, feels cool. But then soon afterwards, obviously it turns into fucking slush when all the snow plows come in and, you know, spread snow and whatever, and all the cars drive on top of it, and turns into black fucking slush that gets into your, and you have to wear fucking, you know, foot long boots not to get fucking slush in your fucking shoes. Otherwise, you're gonna walk with like wet fucking feet all over the fucking city. And it's like, oh god, I need to cut back inside so I can take off these shoes and these socks. But yeah, Sinatra actually makes me think of Vegas, because I think that's where he performed mostly, right? But yeah, you know, he was part of the mafia, I think, right? Whatever. Oops. Drinking a lot of water. But yeah, I mean, I can't hate on New York too much. I was a New Yorker for 6 years and had a lot of New York pride. Not gonna lie, I was one of those douchebags when I came to LA. I was like, yeah, what you got, LA? You got nothing. It's like, I was LARPing with the Jay-Z, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing, but over time, yeah, no, I feel like I lived in the glory era of New York. It was like this, pocket of time, like from 2008 to 2012, where you could walk around at 3 a.m. in like anywhere and it would be pretty safe. Nowadays I feel like that's not really the case anymore. And not only that, it's like 5 times more expensive than it was. Like like fucking parking is like fucking $5, $10 an hour or some shit. Like getting the tolls to get into the fucking bridge are like $20 or some shit. The cheapest way is for me to take the MTA, the train, into the city from my town, which is around $10. So even that's not that cheap either. But that is the cheapest way to get in the city. Just pay a ticket, $10, get in. Pop Smoke was the last messiah for the Black New York proletariat. I don't really know who Pop Smoke is, to be honest. I went there in 2015 and it smelled really bad. Yeah, I moved to LA in 2012. And at first, I was really sad. I was like, oh man. Oh shit, some dog was fucking yelping. I was really sad when I came to LA and when I first moved here. I was like, oh man, I miss New York. I miss my friends. New York's the bomb. You could just go outside, walk outside, walk to the thing, go to the thing. Everything's interesting. You can do all these things. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Yeah, they love me everywhere. Yeah, they, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm talking about New York City, Andrew. But so I did go back a lot, those first few years I was in LA. But yeah, by the mid to late 2010s, I was like, everything feels so fucking corporate now. There's like a, fucking Whole Foods on every fucking corner, and everything feels like it's just fucking corporate Disneyland. Everything just like lost its life, its luster. Just became this like, just this sterile, and it wasn't even quite clean either. It wasn't even clean corporate. It was like corporate but like dirty too, and it was just kind of like, well, this kind of sucks, and it costs even more than it, was when I was here. So maybe I don't really miss it that much. Deep drop a prayer for me in the Islamic Caliphate of Al Manhattan. Yeah, apparently, the one thing going for New York right now is apparently, I don't know if this is actually going to happen, because liberals talk a lot of shit, but they never really follow through on anything that they fucking talk about, right? But apparently, all these fucking Zionists are like, "Whoa, Mom, Daddy, I'm gonna sell my house. I'm gonna sell my apartment and move to Florida, where they love Jews. They love Jews in Florida, so I'm gonna move there. But wait, I want full price for my $10 million condo that I want to sell. Oh no, I can't move after all. Shut the fuck up. You're not moving. You're not moving. You're not moving for New York. If you're rich in New York can be awesome. I'm not going to lie. If you're rich in New York, then everything is fine. Because A, you don't have to take the subway. You have your fucking private chauffeur drive you around wherever the fuck you want. Right? You can afford all those tolls and whatever, and you can go wherever you want, whenever you want. All the fucking shit's at your fingertips, you know. Um, and you just feel like fucking, you're on an episode of Succession, right? You're just like, fuck off if you hate something. You just act like you're fucking Matt Murdock, or not Matt Murdock. What's his name? Something Murdock. God, I don't know if it's like getting off weed, but I feel like my memory has been worse ever since I've gotten off weed. I'm like, what? Who's that fucking Fox guy? Murdoch. Somebody knows who I'm talking about. What's your opinion on LA food versus New York City food? Well, wait, how's SAR going? SAR's going fine. Everyone needs to check in SAR when they can. The check-ins of the SAR. Rupert Murdoch, of course. It's some fucking retarded Anglo name. Rupert, like Rupert Grint, that fucking guy on Harry Potter. Oh my god. This fucking girl I had a crush on Rupert Grint. And I was like, "Are you fucking serious, bro? My fucking like crush boner for you just like fucking shriveled into my fucking dick. Now I have a vagina because you have just fucking made me so, disgusted. I became a woman. I became a trans woman from my disgust." Just kidding. LA isn't bad if you have a car. Yeah, I have a car now, so yeah, LA's not that bad. But let's see. What's your opinion, LA food versus New York food? Well, LA, they're different, right? They have different specialties, right? You got amazing Italian, obviously, in New York. You have what other good like ethnic areas? You got like obviously good Muslim food. Because yeah. No one's eating Jewish food, that's for sure. Actually, no, that's not true. That's not true. I do like myself a good pastrami sandwich. I'm not gonna lie. Katz's Deli was always kind of my favorite. What else is there specialty wise? Um, but the thing about New York food is that like they have a lot of great high end stuff, but they don't really have a good mid tier stuff, and that's where LA I think excels, where they have a lot of variety of like mid tier foods. They don't have the best like high tier foods. Like obviously New York has the best French, the best kind of like fancy type French or Japanese or like that kind of stuff if you want it. But if you want like kind of mid tier but like pretty decent food, that's kind of like more variety ethnically, then I think especially if you're into Korean food or if you're into Mexican food, right? Because guess what? We're closer to Mexico and we're closer to Korea. So just like New York is closer to Italy and closer to the Middle East, there you go. It makes sense, right? But then for all the stuff that's like kind of non-location specific, that's the kind of like the mid-tier, high-tier thing I'm talking about. So that's kind of like what I think about that. Um, let's see. Roger Ailes. Who's Roger Ailes? The best experience in New York is finding the weird stores like this pizza place. Uh, I think I literally called the pizza store with a shitty grand opening ribbon from it. Yeah, I mean, I think in New York, that's the thing too. There's just so much at your fingertips, and it's all close together, so you can kind of like, with LA, everything is all spread out, right? So you kind of have to like find shit. You have to be a fucking, on like one of those, you have to follow a lot of influencers, I guess, like a lot of fucking food influencers and all these annoying people to like find out what's the newest shit that's going on. But in New York, you could just like walk around and be like, "Oh, there's a new thing here." It's because it's a high traffic place. It must be pretty cool because otherwise it would probably die in like 5 seconds. Because you need to be legit if you're going to be in New York, right? If you want to make it here, you can't make it anywhere, right? Like, if you want to make it here, you got to be fucking top notch. So you're almost kind of like guaranteed at least some level of quality. Um, yeah, it might be overrated and overpriced now. I don't know. I haven't been in a long time. Um, but it was pretty good when I went like 10 years ago or so. Um, but yeah, in New York, obviously, I always try to get the best pizza and the best burgers. David Tay always is on top of things. He likes to know what the best of the best is. He's always scouring the YouTube videos of all these influencers. He's on top of that shit. He's on YouTube 24/7, so he knows who the latest and greatest pizza and burger places are. So that's probably what we're gonna do when I'm in New York next week. We're gonna probably go to all these fucking places. Maybe we'll do an influence. No, we're not gonna do a fucking video. That's gay as fuck. But yeah. See, David Tay. There's a new best burger spot. Lol. Exactly. Pho is way better in California. Yeah, probably. I only like a certain kind of pho, to be honest. It's like northern style, but without anything in it except for like noodles and onions, like white onions. I actually hate that. I have the cilantro soap gene, and I don't really like the taste of ginger. So I don't like the southern style stuff. I think it's not really my bag. I know a lot of people. It's popular for a lot of people, but for me, I'm not really a fan of the southern style pho stuff. Mexican food is better than LA. Well, that's like I said, it's obvious. We're literally like 100 miles away from the border, right? So, you know, there's a lot of Mexican here. I remember when the pastrami and rye with mustard was 18, now it's 30. Jesus. Jesus Christ, mate. Jesus Christ. I like Chinese food in New York over California. Yeah, I think it depends. That depends too. I'm not too much of a Chinese food connoisseur. But I know they do really good dim sum there in New York. They also do good dim sum in San Francisco. I know there's Shanghai dumplings, New York. I would say there are some good places in LA though, like not fucking Din Tai Fung though. Fuck Din Tai Fung, by the way. If you like Din Tai Fung, you're not legit. You're just a noob. That's what it is. I remember when oh yeah, NADC is a great burger joint. They cook their patties in tallow. What's tallow? And where is NADC? Is that I bet there is a good ass Russian Jew restaurant. I actually don't know what Russian food. I've never been to a Russian food place, to be honest. So I don't know how that is. Bagel, cream cheese, and lox from Russ and Daughters. Is that in New York? Russ and Daughters? I've never heard about that. But yeah, that's the other thing New York does better than California in general. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there aren't any Polish Jews in California or anything, or if it's the water or whatever. Just like, where are the good bagels here? They don't do good bagels in California. I'm like, I don't know. I guess all the Polish Jews are in New York, right? Because I didn't even know bagels came from Poland until recently. They're one good contribution to society. Everything else is just they're fucking garbage. We went to Veselka together. Oh, that place? Yeah, I'm not really a fan of that kind of stuff. There's a good bagel spot in Oakland. It's the Copper in the Water. Nice. From the Statue of Liberty. Tallow is animal fat. NADC is just north of Chinatown. All right. I will try to. Yo, David Tate, put it on the list. Okay, put that on the list. Tallow or NADC. There was this one burger I had in New York. It was called like the Juicy Lucy. I forgot. Was it? Man, that was really good. I'm trying to remember where it was. It was somewhere around like 53rd Street, I think. It was like, oh man, that was good. But yeah, for a while I was having Shake Shack every week in New York City when I was living. I lived right by the Madison Square Park for a couple of years, or for a few years, and every week I'd go to the Shake Shack, the original Shake Shack, in Madison Square Park. Oh man, those were the days. Those were the days. Those were the days. I was living my petty bourgeois best life. My petty bourgeois best life. I was just chomping on my Shake Shack burgers. That was like 50% the price they are today. And man, good times, good times. Simple times, you know? Simple times when I didn't have to worry about the end of the world. But, you know. In-N-Out still slaps. Too bad about the wait times. I couldn't care less about In-N-Out, to be honest. I mean, I haven't even had it for, Jesus, I can't even remember the last time I've had it. It's been that long. I think it's been 4 years. I want to say 4 years. It's been 4 years since I've had In-N-Out. But that was because 4 years ago I was living near one, so it was kind of convenient. I don't really live near one right now. So it's just kind of like I don't feel the need to go even out of my way. Like I would just go to like Burger King like I did before a couple weeks ago on stream. Yeah. But yeah, you guys didn't come here to listen to me talk about food all day. I'm not a foodie influencer. I'm not a fucking mukbang streamer. Actually, I kind of was a couple times, but that's not the point. That's not why you're here, right? You're here because you want to hear about my rage-filled week on Twitter, right? You want to hear. Well, I mean, if you saw my rage, there's not much more to say, right? So if you're not on Twitter, this past week, I don't know if you guys know, but there was a resolution passed by the United Nations about a rebuilding plan for Gaza that passed 14-0 in the UN Security Council with a couple of abstentions from Russia and China. They both abstained from voting. They didn't vote yes, but they didn't vote no either. And the key with that, obviously, is that there are 5 Security Council members with veto power. That being the United States, that being United Kingdom, that being France, and then there's China, the People's Republic of China, and the Russian Federation, right? Those 5 states have veto power. And Russia and China decided not to exorcise the demons. They did not choose to exorcise the demons, right? And, you know, again, Haas already talked about this on stream, so I feel like I don't need to rehash all the shit, whatever, and the reasons why and whatever. But it's just kind of like, okay. And, you know, like, first of all, first of all, when did we all be like, oh yeah, the UN, the United Nations is the arbiter of justice, and so if you don't actually use the UN properly, that means you're part of the imperialist club. Okay, like, what are you talking about? The UN has been a clown fucking institution it's literally on Rockefeller property in New York City. Like, do you guys understand that it's all fucking rigged to begin with? Like, in 1947, they drew up what, 56% of the land for Israel? And then after fucking the Nakba, they just took like, what, like 70, 75? And in 48, they didn't give a shit. And then they took even more after 67. Now they're on this little piece of like tiny piece of shit land that they're like all stuffed into. They don't give a shit about the fucking UN. But if they vetoed it and they went along anyway, that would show the world that it's not valid. Yeah. They already know it's not valid. They already did that shit. They already said the Korean War. Yeah, the North Koreans attacked first. Even Douglas MacArthur's initial report said the South Koreans attacked first. But no. Trust us. We're giving all the information to UN properly, and we need to all unite and attack the North Koreans together. This fucking ragtag group of people who are enslaved for fucking 35 years is invading their own country. So we gotta all team up and kill these Korean gooks. It's like, what are you fucking talking about, you retards? You guys are fucking retarded. The UN is nothing but a clown show. But then you could have shown them. You could have shown everyone how clown they are. Oh no. What? You just wanted to make profit? Israel trades $18 billion a year with China. And the United States doesn't even trade that much. They don't trade $9 billion to $18 billion. Do you know how much $18 billion is? China does not trade with Israel for their fucking money, all right? They don't need $18 billion a year. They just fucking went through a trade war with fucking America just fucking around, being retarded. Do you think they care about $18 billion a year? Do you think that's why they didn't veto because they wanted $18 billion of business every year? Are you leftists just fucking retarded? Do you not understand geopolitics? Do you not understand military strategy? Do you not understand tachia? Do you not understand anything in life, you fucking infantile morons? You never played a fucking game of chess in your life. You probably never played a fucking game of poker in your life. Probably never played a fucking game of StarCraft in your life. You probably never played a game where you didn't fucking just win a participation trophy because you suck so fucking bad you couldn't win anything otherwise, because you're all bunch of fucking retards who just expect things to be handed to you for simply existing. Like, oh, it's my lived experience. Oh, I'm so oppressed. People should give me shit because shut the fuck up, you dumb fucks. You know what China did? You know what China did when they were getting fucked with by the UN? China, the PRC, was not recognized as China until 1972. Okay? For 23 years, they represented 98% of Chinese people. But for some reason, this clown UN said, hey, no, this small, tiny island that used to be a colony of the Dutch and a colony of the Japs, that's actually China. That's actually China. That should be the one on the Security Council, But did China be like, whoa, you guys are so oppressive. You guys are doing anything. I ain't gonna whine more so you do something. You're so not morally right. No, China was like, you know what? Fuck you, bitch. We don't fucking give a shit. Yeah, America, you're gonna fucking threaten us with nukes? It's like, Mao Zedong was like, yeah, bring it, bitch. Bring the nukes. Let's go. Let's fucking go. And the Czechoslovakia was like, well, maybe because you guys have 500 million people, but we only have like 8 million or 10 million people. So you guys can say that, but if they nuked us, we'd all be dead. Well, guess what? Grow some fucking balls, Czechs. Grow some fucking balls. That's what Mao Zedong said. Mao Zedong said, grow some fucking balls, white people. But the white people, the West, even the white communists were like, well, but what if they nuke us? Oh, that would be bad. That would be so sad if Czechoslovakia just all got... You know what Czechoslovakia is today? Czechoslovakia is 10 million people. 5% of all Czech people are fucking meth addicts. That's your fucking country. It's a fucking meth addicts, 5% meth addicts, 10 to 20% prostitute. It's just fucking terrible garbage. Maybe you should have been nuked, Oh man, I'm gonna get my channel canceled, aren't I? But it's all these fucking Islamist leftists, right? All these fucking leftists who are like, have never really sacrificed anything in their lives, right? It's just kind of like all these pontificating fucking people who haven't said a thing about the Korean War, right? Who haven't said a thing about Vietnam, right? Who haven't said a thing about anti-Asian hate crimes for the past fucking, since we've been here, right? Or anti-Asian racism or anything about anti-Asian shit, right? They just join along with it. They're like, you know what? Maybe we should let Taiwan become a country now. Because they're all like, because China's not doing what want. We need a free Tibet. We need fuck you, you dumb fuck. Mask off. Mask off. I didn't even need to see the mask off. I already knew, you fucks. I already knew you were dumb fucks for a decade. I lived in fucking Hollywood, or I was trying to work in Hollywood. I saw how racist your entire media is to Asian people. You all fucking want us to die from the day we got here. So I don't want to hear this fucking why didn't China do anything? We need to nuke China now. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Do you understand that you are white? That you, not me, you are white. Do you know that your people have benefited from imperialism for 500 fucking years? You guys have been the fucking scum parasites of the earth for 500 fucking years. And the only country that has stood up to the fucking, your fucking scum fuckeries has been China, right? It hasn't been Africa. It definitely hasn't been India, right? It's only been China. The only reason you hate China so much is because they actually won't let you do the shit you've been doing for the past 500 years. That's the real reason. You guys are the actual fucking Nazis. Because in your clown world, you're not responsible for the past 500 years, but China is. In your clown fucking calculation, China is the one responsible for what's going on in Palestine, and it's not fucking you. Why don't you take some fucking responsibility? It's not me. I just got here. My family just got here 40 years ago. So it's not like I started this Israel shit either. I had to go through a lot of shit. I had to eat a lot of shit to get to where I was. I didn't get nothing handed to me.
You know, despite what the stories of my fucking enemies say about me, that I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, anyone who knows anything about fucking Korea and Korean American immigrants would tell you you're a fucking retard, because none of us came here with money in the 1970s and 1980s. That's for fucking sure. Yeah, you might have a couple of chebbles that do now, right? You have a lot of fucking Korean fucking chebbles that come over in America and just splash around a lot of money. But that wasn't me. What Asians had to endure here, not only all these fucking obstacles of just being an immigrant and not really knowing the language, we were the ones who were stained with the idea of communism. We're like, oh, you see a chink? Oh, that's a communist. Oh, he sucks. He's like, he has a small dick. You know, he's not a human. He doesn't think like a normal person. He's just a robot. He's just a little whatever. Like, this is the shit all of us had to fucking deal with in our entire lives. And now you want to come and tell us that your mess is our fault? Fuck you. Fuck all you fucking Western lefts. Fuck all white people. That's right. I said it. I said it, and I said it before, and I said it fucking again. You know? Malcolm X was fucking right about y'all. Malcolm X was the fucking master. He knew all about y'all. All about y'all little shits. Anyway. That about sums up how I feel about Western leftists, you know? That's all I feel about them. And even the fucking, you know, non-white Western leftists, they're all the same too. They all have WMAF mind virus. You know? WMAF mind virus isn't exclusive to male or female or if you have a white partner or not. WMAF mind virus is a state of mind. It's a state of being a Jeet. Like WMAF, being a Jeet, being an amboy, being a Jap. It's all the fucking same. It's all like, I want to be white so bad. I want to be accepted by the Western power structure. I want to be where the white people are. I want to see myself as a movie star. You know? That's fucking Western left. That's what fucking white, non-white Western leftists are. They're all a bunch of white dick sucking fucking, you know? You know what I'm talking about, QFK? You know what I'm saying? That's the Armenian woman mind virus, too. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway. Okay, let's let's see the chat for a little bit. Talk more about yellow supremacy. I feel like I already have, right? I've just been saying okay retard, you know? No, that's my method. If you have less than 500 followers, you say a retarded comment to me, all I say is okay retard and then I mute you, and then you just rage under my thing and give me extra engagement, and I'm like, thanks, retard. So I had to do that a lot. Probably 100, 200 times over the past few days. I was out on a trip for 4 days and I came back. The liberals turned full on anti-China again. Yep, insane. Americans genuinely just can't get the fuck over themselves and think everything they say matters. It's why they keep bringing up how we criticize our government all the time as if China should do the same. Yeah, you criticize it and what happens? Nothing. Like, good job. Oh, I made a Trump meme. I made a... Did you see the Epstein files, Trump? I'm so funny. I'm so clever and ironic. And I did it. I'm cool. I'm changing society. So why should we distance ourselves from multipolar tards who condemn China from this resolution? We should distance ourselves because they're a bunch of fucking Trotskyite scumbags who don't have any fucking modicum of logical reasoning, and they are just pieces of shit. You know what? I was reading about the Katyn massacre Katyn massacre. Apparently it was a time. So I've been doing a lot of research on Breaking Bad and World War II, right? And I'm reading about the Katyn massacre, and so apparently it was a time in May of 1940, May to June 1940, in Poland, and this was during the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, right, where the Soviets and the Nazis kind of invade Poland, more like Nazis invade Poland. Soviets set up a buffer zone. But they found the story of the Katyn massacre, apparently, is that they found 22,000 Polish officers just dead in the ditch. And during the Red Army comeback in 1943, as the Nazis were kind of like going through their territory in the Poland area, they found these mass bodies or mass graves of these Katyn massacre officers, and they Goebbels was actually excited because it was like, oh, this is gonna mess up the alliance between the Allies and the Soviet Union and Poland. We can use this to kind of like divide them or whatever, and and confuse them and cause chaos and maybe like broker a deal with someone or whatever. So Goebbels was actually genuinely excited. Like, there's nothing in the diary to suggest that he was like lying about it. So I think the Nazis genuinely believed that the Soviets were responsible for it. Grover Furr disagrees. I have yet to read his book on it. But during the 1980s or the 1990s, I think Gorbachev released some documents that Grover Furr says was forged, but that say that Stalin and the Central Committee basically agreed that these 22,000 soldiers or officers needed to get got, because the idea was that they were causing too much trouble, and by the time the Nazis were going to attack them, they might cause even more trouble for the Soviet Union, because now they would act as kind of the Nazis' officers, right? They would give them intelligence and rebel and all this other shit. So that was the idea. And so when I heard about that, I was like, oh man, it does not look good for the Soviets. That's kind of yikes. But now I'm just kind of like, you know what? After seeing all these fucking leftists, I'm like, you know what? I get it, Stalin. I get it. Sometimes there's just no redemption for some people. There's just some people who are not ever going to be redeemed. I get it, Molotov. I get it, Stalin. I get it. I think who was it? Who was on the Central Committee? I forget. But I get it, guys. I get it. I'm just like, fuck these leftists. Like, goddamn, they are so fucking full of themselves. I've called this out since 2020. You can search all my fucking shit. Actually, I deleted a lot of my tweets from my old account in 2020, 2021 because I was depressed. But you could, as far as I can remember, I've been on the fucking Western leftist. I'm a Malcolm Xist. That was my first fucking foray into politics. I'm a Malcolm Xist first, and yeah, I'm just kind of like, I'm not surprised. That's the thing. I'm not surprised. I was ready for this shit. I was ready to fucking rip on these motherfuckers, and yeah, I've been fucking blasting them left and right. It feels good. It feels good to be vindicated. Obviously, not great for my mental health, especially now that I'm trying to get off weed, because I'm going down, up and down, up and down. But I'm having fun with it. I'm having fun. It's getting me energized.
It's getting me energy. You know, it's raising my power levels up. And at the same time, it's like none of these fucking leftists are even talking about the fucking Japs threatening China over Taiwan with nukes. Like you got that's the fucking ridiculous part. They're like fucking clown country. They only see their side of the fucking story because they have to make themselves the hero, right? That's the ultimate thing. They have to make them. They cannot conceive of a world where they are not the hero, and that's the ultimate root of why Western leftists hate Asian people. That's the ultimate root of why they hate Chinese people. Because in every possible scenario where the world is communist, where the world is saved, there is no scenario, there is absolutely zero scenario where they are the leaders of that movement. In realistic terms, they implicitly know this. They know that in 50 to 100 years, let's say in 50 to 100 years, just imagine, just close your eyes, imagine a world. Imagine a world that it's now globally communist, right? Okay, let's do that. Let's imagine we're in this futuristic world 50 to 100 years from now. We're not fully communist, right? We haven't gotten to full stage communism, but we're all globally socialist at this point though. And so we're all moving towards that future, right? What has to happen to get us to that point? Do you see these fucking leftists being the leaders of some sort of movement that gets us this point in 50 to 100 years? No, what do you see? Oh, wait, you see Xi Jinping? Oh, wait, you see Kim Jong-un? You see Chinese people? You see Chinese people with the Belt and Road Initiative growing? You see America finally adopting Chinese-style economics and high-speed rail and infrastructure development? You see all these things changing around you? Oh, wait, do you see any Westerners leading this? Like engineering-wise, or even, politically, or just, in any sort of logical way or rational way possible? No! You see the Asian man saving the fucking day. Because guess what? We've been saving the day since 1949. Since 1949, the Asian man has consistently been fucking saving the day. And so when these fucking leftists see that they're not the hero, and they were never going to be the hero of the West or the world, they're like, fuck these Asian people, fuck these Chinese people. They're not that great. They're not fucking they're not, helping people actually. They're actually capitalists, you see. They're actually imperialists too. They're no better than America. They're actually worse than America. They're oppressive and they're imperialist to their own people. See, at least we get to criticize our government. But these Chinese people, what, they're rich now? They got a lot of money? And they're oppressing their own people and other people? They're oppressing Tibet? What why are we praising these Chinese people? We should be I don't know. Why aren't they saving the world? If they're so good, why aren't they saving the world? Oh wait, we need to save the world after all. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Marvel movies told us that we were the heroes. We were the Avengers. We were the fucking wizards. Avada Kedavra. We're fighting Voldemort. We're fighting Thanos. We're fighting Palpatine. These movies told us that we were the heroes. It's all this fucking liberal, liberal schooling where nobody gets fucking, spanked when they're naughty. Nobody gets a B when they're retarded. At Harvard with grade inflation, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. It's just kind of like,
and these Islamists, it's the same fucking shit, you know? It's the same fucking shit. It's like, there's 2 billion of y'all. There's 2 billion Muslims on this planet. 2 billion. What are you guys doing? This plot of land with 10 million people on it, there's 2 billion of y'all. All around this around this area. You can't handle. That's a 2,200 to 1 ratio. You're telling me that one of those people, one of those pedophiles, can take 200 of you, even whatever F-16s, whatever you want to call it, they could take 200 of you? What are you doing? It's 2 billion versus 10 million. What? You know what China had to face? You know what North Korea had to face? You know what Vietnam had to face? We had to face the full force of the American military. You know? Mao Zedong, you know, like he lost his own son in the Korean War. He lost his own son in the Korean War. 500,000 Chinese people died. 500,000 soldiers, not civilians. 500,000 Chinese soldiers died in the Korean War. How many people died in fucking Korea? 20% of North Korea was killed. Maybe even more. And not to mention 1 million in the South as well. You know, there was 1 million Southern casualties as well during the Korean War. 3 million people died out of a country of 25 million back then. 10% of more than 10% of Koreans was wiped off the face of the earth. But guess what? We got our fucking independence, or at least for half the country. And Vietnam, same thing. 3 to 5 million people, maybe even more, 4 to 5 million people. You know, out of a country of, I think it was like probably around 60 million at that point. But Ho Chi Minh, he was like, we will not surrender. We're not going to fucking, no, we're not going to we're not going to fucking split our country into two like South Korea. We're not going to do that. We're not going to fucking do that. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here. You guys can kill 10 of us. And we might kill 1, but you're going to tire of it before we. That is what Ho Chi Minh said. You can kill 10 of us, and we might only kill 1. But you will tire of it faster than we will. And he was fucking right. He was fucking, you know what, you know, like Star Wars, right? Lucas, right? George Lucas. He says it's based on the Vietnam War. Who do you think Obi-Wan Kenobi is? Who do you think Obi-Wan Kenobi is? Who do you think is doing the Jedi mind tricks? That's Ho Chi Minh, baby. He was like, oh, okay. We're going to make your soldiers so psychologically disturbed that they're going to fucking start fragging their own officers to get the fuck out of here. That's how crazy we're going to make it for you guys here. That's how shitty we're going to make it for your soldiers here. We're not only going to kill them, we're going to make the way that they die so horrific that they are going to want to kill your own people to get the fuck out. And then Nixon, right? Nixon gets elected. Nixon gets elected in 1968. LBJ doesn't run because he's so fucking unpopular at that point. I forgot who Nixon runs against, but, RFK dies because he gets assassinated by CIA, Mossad, who knows, right? Nixon runs on this, you're going to pull out of Vietnam, everyone's running on, we're going to pull out of Vietnam, right? It's so unpopular at that point. Tet Offensive is fucking, it's like a Pyrrhic victory for the Americans, where, yeah, they technically win against the Tet Offensive, but it's all televised, right? You see American soldiers getting fucking fucked up. And when the American public sees that, they're like, shit, what the fuck is going on? Why are we fucking here? This is terrible. Look at our boys being like, fucking shredded to pieces. That was what Ho Chi Minh predicted. And that's why Ho Chi Minh is the master, in my opinion. He was a master at understanding the West. He was understanding the psychological game, not just the fucking military game. He was thinking psychologically. How am I going to get these Americans to be like, what the fuck, right? So Nixon gets in the office, but still he wants to kind of save face for America, right? He's kind of like, all right, I know Ho Chi Minh is kind of a little sick. I've been hearing reports that, since 65, he hasn't been like running shit. He's just kind of been an advisor since 65. So maybe I can finagle a little deal here. Now that he's about to die, maybe I can gets into the office in 69. He's like, oh, maybe I can finagle something here, Ho Chi Minh's like, hey, he's excited, he's like, he brings a bottle of champagne with him, French champagne, right? Like, let's go, let's make a deal, let's get this over with. He's fully expecting, like, pull out of Vietnam, right? It's over. We did it. We're done. And then Nixon kind of like gives him the deal. I don't know if they actually meet in person. I might be making shit up. It might have been with one of his envoys or whatever. But then when Ho Chi Minh hears the deal and it's not what he wants, it's not full sovereignty, it's not full whatever, and he knows he's going to die soon, and he says, you know what? Go fuck yourself. Basically. I mean, he's very polite, He never says anything like that. I'm paraphrasing. But basically he says to Nixon, go fuck yourself. I will fucking die. I will fucking die before I agree to anything like that. I will not fucking compromise. There is no the Asian man does not fucking bow when we know we have the right, we have righteous, we know we have the momentum. We know we have the propaganda. We know that your fucking country hates you right now. We know that your country fucking hates your military. We know that everything is on our fucking favor. I am not going to fucking fold my hand, you dumb fuck. So get the fuck out of here. I think he like doesn't even like drink the champagne. It's like whatever. And so when I heard that, I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's my guy. Lenin, Ho Chi Minh, those are my guys. And it's just like, these Western leftists, they tell me, an Asian person, that we don't know the value of sacrifice. They tell us that we're just in it for money, that we're greedy, that that Israel was training this entire time with China because China wanted that $18 billion a year so bad. Like, are you fucking retarded? Do you even know what Deng Xiaoping was planning with the fucking Israelites? The reason they were training with the Israelites was for their military equipment. Because guess what? A lot of that shit was developed by the United States. So not only do you get free shit like the latest tech, you also learn what they're up to. Of course, the United States, they didn't care as much back then because they were like, oh, China's so backward, they're never going to catch up to us. But by the 2000s, they were like, we got to shut that shit down now. So they kind of shut that shit down by the early 2000s. But by then, they already got a lot of that technology, and they were like, okay, we know how to make shit now. We know how to make advanced fucking military tech. So that's why they started trading with Vietnam in the fucking first place. Because they were like, yeah, this permanent revolution shit is working. We lost Indonesia. We lost Malaysia. We lost Cambodia, obviously. Terrible situation. We weren't successful in Burma. Fucking Lee Kuan Yew stabbed us in the back. This permanent revolution shit is not working. We can't export revolution. It's not working. Deng Xiaoping was like, we got to shut that down. And even Mao at the end of his life, he was like, yeah, not really working out. Not really working out the way we wanted it to, And so, but he was like, you know what? So we'll lower the military now that we're not going to do that shit anymore. Free up a lot of labor that way too, right? You got all these men who no longer have to fucking serve in this permanent revolution. And now you kind of got the assurance that the Americans weren't going to shoot you and kill you anymore because you were kind of working with them against the Soviets. So you're like, let's bide our time and hide our strength, right? Let's do a little tachia. Let's build our military capability. Like this shit, the position China is in now, it was not done easy peasy, queasy seasy, right? China had to like kind of make some moves, kind of like hesitation, whatever, you know? Like these fucking Western leftists think it just happened out of nowhere. Like, oh yeah, China just went capitalist and you know, obviously they're imperialists now. It's like you don't understand anything because you got all these fucking A's in classes, but you're still retarded because they don't teach you anything in school anyway. They don't teach you basic fucking math. So obviously you have no understanding how economics works at all. You think that they're really, you know, fucking falling over themselves on this UN vote for $18 billion a year. Yeah, that really fucking makes sense. Right? Anyway. Czechs have the biggest per capita porn stars. Oh, that's fun. China, the DPRK, you ever think about moving China? Of course, David. Talk about that every fucking stream. Some Jews in the early 1900s were seen as communist because of their unionized tendencies. Ni hao, hello. Hello, Alan Chang. Welcome to the channel. I think you're new. Western liberals should be banned from traveling to Asia. I agree. Well, they can go to fucking Thailand and Japan. Fucking scumbuckets. They're the most useless demographic of the planet. Yeah. WMAF blue check's going to be on suicide watch in the coming decades. Lamau. Well, I hate to tell you I told you so. Actually, no. I love telling people I told you so, actually. It's fun. It's great. Sup gang, sup D Wallace, how's it going? Wi-Fi. What I noticed is Orthodox Marxists and Trots cancel non-Western revolutions in order that they center attention themselves to satisfy their Western chauvinist egos. That Stalin and Mao broke. Yeah, exactly. It's like we all had Asian moms. We all had Asian dads. We know what it's like to not measure up. If you don't measure up, guess what? You don't get coddled. You get to the point where you do measure up. Because if you don't, well, it's gonna be a rough time. That's the Asian parent dialectic, right? That's the Asian parent dialectical materialism. The dialectical materialism is the stick, the meme-maktaki, you know? The meme-maktaki is the dialectical materialism of Asian parenting. Ho Chi Minh Kenobi, exactly. Apologize for my lie round eyes. Wait, are you white? Course 6? I thought you were Asian, but whatever. It's all good. I wish all Asians united against the evil Westerners. Well, guess whose fault that is? Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, Philippines, and of course, my least favorite, Thailand. You know, actually, that's the truth, right? You know, I do still have a begrudging respect for the Japs. Because they actually tried it. They actually tried to be like, fuck you whites. You know, we're going to take what's ours here now. This is our territory. We're going to take, you know, it's not you you whites can't take these Asians. It's our Asians. But you know what? You know what Thailand did? They just spread their fucking ass cheeks to every fucking white man that came to their fucking islands or lands or whatever. And they just took it.
They took it from the fucking French. They took it from the British. They took it from the Japs. And they took it from the Americans. They're still taking it. They're still taking it to this fucking day. And I'm like, at least the Japs tried it. At least the Japs tried some shit. All the fucking Thai people did, they just spread their ass cheeks and took it for 250 years. That's what they did. That's what they fucking did. And they're still doing it. They're still fucking taking it up the ass cheeks. They're taking it up their fucking trans ass cheeks. Like, goddamn. Oh, what a wild time to join law. You laying down the law. That's right, local local dadmin. That's right, local dadmin. I'm talking to some Twitch guy. I mean, I'm just coming off. I should try to train myself to be like a freestyle rapper. I feel like I'm like pretty quick with it now. Pretty quick with the fucking shit. But it's never been colonized. Yeah, sure. You've never been colonized. Have you seen Phuket? Have you seen fucking Phuket and how fucking Israel tourists treat y'all there? Jesus Christ, mate. Jesus Christ. Not colonized. Yeah. Okay, guys. Okay, Thai people. Okay. Is that why you have the highest? Not just Czechoslovakia. That's what I learned from my research on Better Call Breaking Bad. Czechoslovakia in Europe has the highest meth addicts per capita. And guess who has the highest meth addicts per capita in Asia? Good old Thailand. Good old non-colonized Thailand. You got the most prostitutes and the most methamphetamine, most drug addicts. It's like, okay, great. You've never been colonized, huh? Well, you're spreading those ass cheeks for free then, I guess. That's even worse. Like, if you're colonized, then you're getting raped. It's not great, but at least you're forced into it. But you guys are apparently voluntarily spreading your ass cheeks for the white man. So, is that really better? Is that really better, Thai people? I don't know. You tell me. Is that really better? I don't think so. Why hasn't Japan had a communist revolution? Well, first of all, they killed the CIA and the LDP. They killed their communist people there because the CIA, well, after the war, America occupied Japan from 1945, I believe, to 1954 after the end of the Korean War. So MacArthur cucked them pretty damn good. I'm not going to lie. That was maybe one thing he did that I don't necessarily approve nor disapprove of, you know. Maybe, cucking them Japs. Obviously, the result wasn't that great because now they're a bunch of cucks, but yeah. It's so funny how these fucking weebs are like, whenever like leftists, I guess, make fun of fucking Japs for being perverts and weirdos, all these fucking right-wing weebs are like, you guys are supposed to be anti-racist. You guys are being so racist right now. I'm so morally righteous because you're racist and I'm not to the Japs. And I'm like, you guys are the most disingenuous fucking retards in the face of the earth. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you fucking kidding me? They do love their lady boys. Kathoi. I think that's what they call them. Kathoi. They got Muay Thai, which is a badass sport. Yeah, whatever. I got my Wing Chun. You know. Let's go. Actually, not yet. I need a few more years. Did you see that Koreans are finally suing the U.S. military for the numerous military sexual assault? No, I didn't see that. That's good. Good stuff. But yeah, I don't know what else there is to say. I mean, Haas already kind of explained it. It's the other thing is too, like, if all those countries agreed to those resolution, what is vetoing gonna do? Like, okay, so you veto it, and what next? You show the Americans that they're hypocrites. Oh, great! Like, we didn't already know that. Like, the entire world didn't even already know that in the past 2 years. Like, and then what? Now they have to come with a counter proposal. Which they did before, which totally rejected. So then they just fucking look stupid. They're like, okay, we sent in a proposal that got rejected. Now we're rejecting this proposal. Okay, we're going to come up with a second proposal that will just get rejected again, and then we'll just fucking look like a bunch of retards while Israel just fucking kills people continually as they're doing right now. And then now we look like we're delaying negotiations for peace. And now, it's just kind of like a lose-lose situation with these fucking Western leftists. If you go along, if you veto, now it's this long drawn out process with neither side is agreeing to anything, and more Palestinians get killed. It's like, oh, why aren't these Chinese people agreeing to anything? Don't they value Palestinian lives? And then apparently, if you abstain from voting, it's like, oh, they could have vetoed it and extended the process and then stay more. Now they're gonna rebuild Israel, and now they're gonna make money from it. They just wanted to make money the entire time. Like, are you fucking retarded? They don't even fucking run the scenarios. They don't even know how to run the scenarios. They just think, hey, if you veto this, that means everything's going to be fine now, and nothing's going to happen. It's like, oh, they should actually attack Israel. I was like, are you fucking retarded? Like, first of all, if you attack Israel, and all these countries are agreeing to this deal, now you look like a total fucking retard, because they're like, yo, bro, we didn't want that. We didn't want you to fucking attack. We actually want this deal to go through. And so now you got to go through, like Haas was saying, you got to go through fucking Pakistan, nuclear armed Pakistan that agreed to this deal. You got to go through fucking Saudi Arabia. You got to go through fucking all these fucking countries to get to Israel. Yeah, they're not going to fuck up your supply lines or whatever. They're not going to have all these CIA bases that are going to fucking fuck you up on the way. Yeah, that's a fun sort of route to go through. For either Russia or China, right? They're all going to like... And that's like, fool me once with Syria, right? It's just kind of like... Russia, the reason I think Russia pulled out of Syria now is just because, like, the Syrian people bought into all the fucking Western propaganda against Assad, and they didn't have it. Assad was just like, yeah, these people want me out, I guess. So I guess Al-Qaeda guy, sure, take over, I guess. I'm done. I get it now. I get it, Assad. I get it. You can't lead a horse to water, right? The way I describe it, it's like they're drug addicts, right? You can't just, yeah, obviously you want to make them stop taking drugs, but if they really want the drugs, you're not going to stop them from getting those drugs, right? They're going to fucking blame you for not letting them get the drugs. They're like, oh, I need another hit. You fucking idiot. I want another hit. That's what they are right now. That's what fucking Islamists are right now. I want another fucking oil deal where I get to keep all the money, and those annoying Palestinians, they can just fucking die. I don't care. I just want my fucking oil money so I can be fine, whatever. That's what Islamists have been for the past, since 1967. Do you think that, Israel and all this shit just happened under their noses? Right under their noses, and they were just not paying attention the entire time, and they were like, oh, wait, no, that's bad. Israel, what are you doing right now? Oh, the nerve.
Do you think that? Do these liberals think that because they were retarded and they didn't know what was happening for the past 80 years, that the Islamic, the Muslim countries were like, wait, no, they're killing Palestinians now? How dare they? Like, is that what's happening in their minds? It's like, no, they were complicit. Jordan was complicit. From the very fucking beginning. If they cracked open a fucking book, they would know that everyone fucking complied. Even Egypt at the end complied because they got rid of Nasser. Once they got rid of Nasser, they were like, oh, okay, we can fucking get these bums to comply, these Egyptians. Saudi Arabians, they got a lot of oil, so they were like, yeah, fuck it. Give us the money. Show me the money, right? And we all know what happened to Iraq. Like, do they understand what happened with the Gulf War, with Lebanon War in '82? Do they understand how all this fucking happened? That Rome wasn't built in a day. Israel wasn't built in a day, right? They planned for all these countermeasures. They planned for all these contingencies for 80 fucking years with their intelligence. This is their fucking crown jewel. This is the crown jewel of American imperialism. Do you think they just fucking, it just sprang out of nowhere and, they didn't know what was happening the entire time? Like the surrounding Arab countries, they're like, wait, they're treating Palestinians badly? That's not cool. That's not cool, guys. We should vote against this. We should vote against this Israel state. That's going to do it. Yeah, so they do that. They vote in the UN to keep their citizens happy, right? They can't openly support Israel to their citizens. But what do their governments do? What are their actions? The government's actual actions. They're like, what can we do? Amma is weak. We can only pray. When it comes to Syria, when it comes to regime change in Syria and Libya and whatever, we're all jihad. We're all a part of the jihads. But when it comes to actually making change with this, there's 2 billion of us, but there's 10 million of them. But it's nothing we can do about it, guys. Nothing we do. Nothing we can do. Anyhow. I feel like I've said everything that needs to be said, right? I don't know. Does anyone have questions? Let's see. My friend was adopted by a Jewish family and he's trying to sue them for mental anguish. What? Why is he trying to sue them? What's his grounds? He's Korean adopted and got circumcised without his consent. Wait, at what age? Because that's supposed to happen when you're like a baby, not when you're like fully fucking grown. We were talking in Discords that Asians adopted by Jewish families end up weird. Well, the WMA mind virus. China owes nobody nothing. That's right, holy moly. Yeah, they different for sure. Course Beaver confirmed a lawsuit against the U.S. military. I struggle to see why so much emphasis is being placed on the UN, NATO, etc. when we saw that an actual honest-to-God ICC arrest warrant apparently does nothing, absolutely nothing to independent genocide. Genocide air? I think that's a typo. Yeah, exactly. Bit by Anthony Kiedis. It's just fucking, these Western leftists are just fucking nihilists. They're just, you know what they are? They're just like fucking goth nihilists who do drugs all the time, who like do prostitution all the time, who like fuck around. They just think that because they are not, rich or capitalist, that they're somehow morally better than everyone when they don't do anything either. They just don't do anything. And they think poverty is morality. They think being poor is being righteous. And it's just kind of like, no, that's not how communism works. That's not how morality works. That's not how life works. You kind of have to do shit. You kind of have to like fucking
pull your weight, contribute to fucking society. Why should society give a shit about you if you're just fucking a parasite wasting space, not even doing shit? Because you think if you do shit and you get money, now you're not poor, now you lose your more. Like, it's just a fucking retarded jibber jabber thing. Or if you're just a fucking Western liberal, right? If you're one of the chosen non-white people in Western media with like 50,000 followers, you think you're some sort of fucking, Huey Newton or some shit because you got like 50,000 followers on Twitter or some shit. And you're like, well, China's not doing as much as I am because I'm a huge voice that's fighting against the resistance. I get to say all these things about Trump. No Kings rally. Yeah. BLM. Yeah. Triangle emoji. Yeah. Look at how many triangle emojis. Look how based I am. Triangle emoji. Triangle emoji. Intifada. Intifada. Inshallah. 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 Intifada. Inshallah. Intifada. Inshallah. Inshallah. Intifada. Inshallah. Intifada. Inshallah. Intifada. Inshallah. Intifada. Inshallah. Intifada. Triangle. Inshallah. 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 Triangle. Intifada. Triangle. Inshallah. Inshallah. Intaga. That's basically, I'm gonna make a fucking troll EDM fucking song. Intifada, intifada, triangle, triangle, intifada, triangle, intifada, triangle, intifada, inshallah, inshallah, triangle, intifada, triangle, intifada, triangle, intifada, inshallah, inshallah. That's basically what a Western leftist is. Trans rights BLM, trans rights BLM, intifada, inshallah, inshallah, inshallah. Oh man, I'm going crazy. I'm going nuts, man. This weed withdrawal can get highs and lows, guys. Highs and lows. You're afraid to admit how much you're getting into saying it's so slippery. You might be right, young suit. You might be right. Maybe I'm going to be a Western leftist. I'm going to be a Western leftist, guys. You know what? I'm going to replace this flag. I'm going to replace this flag with a trans flag, rainbow flag, one of those fucking ugly-ass rainbow flag with the triangle and the brown shit in it. I'm like, that's not even good. That's not even, like, aesthetically pleasing anymore. That's like crap colored. Why is there crap color on my rainbow flag? What are we doing now? I think China banned foreign adoptions. Well, good. If you don't work, you don't eat. Exactly. They think they're capitalists. They're just as unproductive. Wait, did I miss stuff? Let's try to see. He was adopted when he was young, lol, but he feels like they shouldn't have the right to circumcise without consent. Yeah, that's probably right. I mean, like, even if you're like 3 years old, yeah, no. Unless you're like less than a year old, maybe. But like, once you're fucking like have like some semblance of consciousness, that's fucking terrible. We need more Luigi. Well, I don't know about Luigi's. I don't even know if he's the guy. I feel like he's a patsy, possibly. They think that they're better than capitalists, as that they're just as lazy and unproductive as them. Yeah, pretty much. Big reason Korea is limiting adoptions to USA because of horrible stories like that. Well, they should have done that a long time ago, but, Park Chung-hee was selling them off like hotcakes, especially the leftists' children, because he was a fucking scumbag that threatened leftists with kidnapping their kids and selling them. That's what he did. They do absolutely nothing to prove the material conditions of jack shit. Yep. I've been saying this, guys. I've been saying this shit about liberals and leftists even before I was a comic, like way before even fucking 2020. I've been in fucking LA since 2012. Like, this is the scum central of Western leftism,
This is scum central. This is like where the Pharisees of leftism congregate. This is where they worship and pray. They worship at the altar of Hollywood. They worship at the altar of fucking Star Wars or fucking Marvel or fucking Harry Potter or whatever the fuck the new like, you know, brand is to worship. They're like, you know, you have all these fucking retards being like, I like on YouTube, I see like every day there's like new doomsday leak, guys. New doomsday leak. It's like they're not leaking it. It's not a fucking leak when they're quote unquote leaking it every fucking day to see how you guys react to it so they can see if they want to cut it or not. It's like, are you guys retarded? Like, people are just fucking retarded. Like, the internet has just made everyone under the age of 30 retarded. 35. Everyone under the age of 35 is now retarded because of the internet. And yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like, you know, when we were kids, when we were Asian kids, you know, our parents knew. That's why they were like, no TV. No TV, no video games. Maybe 2 hours of video games over the weekend. That's all you get. And I was like, fuck, Mom. Why are you not letting us watch TV? Now I get it, guys. Now I get it, Mom. Now I get it, Dad. We're not retarded. Thanks. We're like, oh, we have to actually read actual books and that are not images, that don't move. So, oh, God. All right. Well, oh, man. Oh, words are forming images in my mind. Oh, that's cool. Let me just read more. I wonder how this whole thing with the Japanese PM will end. I mean, this is what? They're like fucking third PM in the past 3 years? Like, it's been a fucking merry-go-round, right? It's been like a revolving door of PMs, I think. Compared to other cities I've seen, LA is exceptionally bad, despite the common BS of Western leftists throughout the USA. A lot of Asian parents in the USA be super anti-communist, though. I mean, that's literally how they selected Asian immigrants in the 1965 Hart Cellar, right? They basically were like, are you a communist? No. All right, then don't come. That was basically what happened, like, at the fucking visa offices. Like, hey, do you like communism? Check yes. Check no. No, I don't like communism. All right, you're in. Like, are you fucking serious? Of course they're gonna be anti-communist here. Do you think that would let in like what are you talking about? What old Asian people are gonna be pro-communist in America? That's like the stupidest fucking shit too. Like, they all call us, like, especially these fucking retarded white people or Westerners or even black people, just like non-Asian people, like calling, you know, especially like our old elders communists. I'm like, do you really think the United States, you know, let people immigrate that were communists in the 1960s, 1970s, 1980s? Is your logic button working, or are you retarded? Oh, I guess. I'm sorry. I forgot you watch TV all day. So you are retarded. So I guess that makes sense. Let's see. Being poor in the eyes of the tax collector can be pretty good. What do you mean in the eyes of the tax collector? Yeah, yes, because they're not going to collect money from you, I guess. Sure. We had to cooperate. Ah, what the fuck? I don't want that to happen. Stop it. What do you think of Karen Bass? Lol, LA was burning and she was on vacation. Lol. I mean, like, you know what I think about Karen Bass. You did not see my fucking documentary, David Tay. Do you really have to ask what I think about Karen Basshole? Fucking Basshole, Karen Basshole.
Karen Bass winning the mayorship actually inspired me to try to go to law school to run against her in 26 and the campaign where I'd be like, better call Doug. Are you tired of being hate crimed? Are you tired of fucking crime in general? Are you tired of a mayor who doesn't do fucking jack shit? Better call Doug. We had to come to the U.S. from Brazil. We had to live in Brazil for a year. Oh, are you Brazilian? Course 6 Beaver? Oh, you're saying you came from Asia to Brazil to... Yeah. I forgot how my parents came exactly. I mean, my dad was obviously, so he was, certified in medicine. Went to SNU, so that was probably it. But I think my mom was also, she had gone to America before. She was studying at Fordham in the 70s. So, yeah, I forgot what their visa stuff was, but they're permanent residents now. And they have been for 45 years or whatever. So, interesting fact, the first dreamer in the United States was Korean from Brazil. What is a dreamer again? No, Doug, Chinese Exclusion Act, version 3. Oh. What's Chinese Exclusion Act, version 3? Karen Bass after the LA riots calling Korean businesses parasites. You know what happened? You know what happened in South Central? All those fucking retards were like celebrating. Like, yeah, we got rid of those Korean liquor stores. They're causing so much trouble in our neighborhoods with all the gang violence. You know what happened? Well, first of all, the gang violence didn't disappear. It started to disappear later on when the economy got better, sure. But that wasn't why the liquor stores weren't the reason. But then you know what happened? The people in South Central were like, oh fuck, I gotta walk 2-3 miles to the nearest grocery store because all these fucking grocery store chains never want to open here because it's all this fucking gang violence. Oh fuck. Well, better start walking. Better start walking an hour for groceries. By the time they come back with my fucking groceries, because I don't have a car because I'm poor, I might get jumped on the way back. My food's gonna get fucking bad on the way back. Doug, is there gangs in your hood? No, I live in a fairly safe area. Fortunately, it's not the nicest area, but it's not the poorest area. Basically, the more dangerous areas are south of the 10 highway. That's where South Central is. Inglewood, South Central, Compton, etc., etc. That's more where the more dangerous areas are. I live kind of in an area above that. I live near a lot of bougie areas, but I'm not in the bougie area, so it's kind of okay. It's not bad. Got some good food options in Santel. But that's kind of like a couple miles away. I can't really walk there. It's not too much stuff in walking distance, but I make it work. I make it work. Not to sound therapy brain, but from a consumer or communist perspective, the Western left is one big gaslighting circus. Yep. Like I said, they just can't handle the fact that ultimately at the end of the day, they're not going to be the hero. They want this reality where they can rise up and be like the Martin Luther King or Fred Hampton and get all the glory for being a revolutionary or something. But they haven't really thought about like A, how to even make that happen. B, what to even do once you get that amount of influence. And C, they think just being popular and good, right? Like looking morally righteous is what's going to make people politically, they want to inspire people to rise up. Like, oh, look how morally righteous I am, and now you're going to follow me to the revolution, but I'm not going to do any real work. You guys are going to do it for me, and you guys are going to go out and do the stuff for me, and I'm not going to do it, but I'm just going to be the leader, telling y'all what to do, and things are going to be solved because I'm so cool and morally righteous that, I've got 1 million followers on Twitch, for example, and, just by dint of my influence, I'm going to change society, all this fucking bullshit. And it's just kind of like, the people with millions of followers, they're controlled. They're all controlled. Y'all ain't doing shit. Not happening. Not happening. There was a guy who told us, who laid out exactly what to do, step by step, over 150 years or 125 years ago, right? Step by step, he figured out what to do. Like 1895, Lenin was 25 years old. That's when he kind of started his stuff. By 1902, he was like, this shit ain't working, guys. We gotta change course. We gotta figure shit out. What is to be done? What is to fucking be done? At 27, he was like, this shit ain't working. Or 32, I think. He was like, this shit ain't working. What we've been doing, we're just a fucking book club. What are we fucking doing? And by 35, when the first kind of revolution, Bloody Sunday, happened, he was like, yeah, all y'all fucking retards don't know what you're fucking doing. We're splitting off from y'all. He was like, he was confident. He was like, y'all have been doing shit. Ever since Marx died, ever since Engels died, you guys don't know what the fuck you're doing. Kautsky, you're a dumb fuck. Bernstein, you dumb fuck. Even Plekhanov, my old mentor, you're a dumb fuck now. He was not afraid. Former colleagues, former allies. He was like, oh, you're a dumb fuck. Go fuck yourself. Oh, Bukharin, you're a dumb fuck. Go fuck yourself, right? I don't know if he said that, Bukharin. But he said that, I think he said that. He didn't say go fuck yourself. But he was like, even like his mentors, whatever, he was like, you know what? That's not working. What you're doing ain't working. Go fuck yourself. Trotsky, you're a dumb fuck. Go fuck yourself. He was saying go fuck yourself to everyone. It didn't matter, like his core group of Bolsheviks was shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, in 1905. And he was like, I don't care. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm right because I can see that what you're doing is not working. You say, oh, wait more. We just needs more time. We just need, like, no, it's not working. You dumb fucks. You're not scientists. You're just fucking idealists who are retarded. You're doing the same shit over and over again. It's not fucking working. We're gonna try something different. We're gonna launch a newspaper. We're gonna launch Iskra. We have to teach these people what the fuck's going on. You have to teach the masses. You guys are trying to be influencers. You got to try to be this moralist influence. Oh yeah, lead the revolution. They're gonna follow us. No, we have to actually go to these fucking people, tell them what's up. What do? We got to fucking start a newspaper. We got to write. He was writing articles every fucking day. He was writing under like 20 different pseudonyms in the same fucking newspaper because nobody else was writing shit. So he had to make it seem like there were all these people writing. That's what Lenin did. He like wrote all these articles, but like with different pseudonyms. He had 147 different names or something like that. He was just fucking writing all the time in these newspapers, like, this is what's going on in Russia. This is what's going on. This is what's going on with the capitalists. This is what's going on. He was fucking working all the fucking time. That's what he was fucking doing. And you think he was doing that for his own health? No, he was building the theory. He was building the Leninist fucking theory. He was like figuring it out. He was like, oh, this didn't work. Okay, that didn't work. We got to switch course. Oh, okay, I was wrong. That's blah, 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 blah. That's why by the time the October Revolution happened, everyone was like, yeah, That's the guy. That's the guy. He's thought about this 1 billion times more than everyone else. He's like, the dude was giving lectures at the Kremlin. It was just like he was just like fucking sounding off. He was just like, this is how the world works, guys. This is how society. This is from the beginning of time. This is what everyone's like. Holy shit! Like, that's why they preserved his body. They were like, there's something about this guy. We got to preserve his body because he was so fucking special. I don't know. I don't know if they like examined his brain or anything, but like they like it's like Einstein, like they researched his brain maybe, I don't know. But the Soviets preserved his body, right? Because it was like, dude, there's not going to be another guy like this in the fucking world. They actually have to move his body temporarily during World War II because they thought there was a chance that the Nazis were going to take Moscow. But they brought it back. I hope to see it one day. I hope to visit Moscow one day. But that's why I'm like, y'all didn't even fucking read the playbook. Y'all telling us what to do? Y'all telling Asians what to do? Y'all telling Asians that you know better what to do when you didn't even fucking read the assignment? It's like fucking telling, you know what it is? It's like telling fucking like Albert Einstein, I know better about like, I don't know, like force times force equals mass times acceleration. It's like saying to Einstein, force doesn't equal mass times acceleration. It actually it's mass times velocity. That's what it is. That's what it's like for these fucking Western leftists to tell China what's up, to tell 100 million people in the Chinese Communist Party that they're wrong. That's what fucking Western leftists are like. They're saying, hey, 100 million Chinese people, force equals mass times velocity, you see? And Einstein is like, are you fucking retarded? That's what Western leftists are. They're just fucking retarded. They don't even know. They don't even read what people did in the past. They don't even know what people. It's like right there too. That's the fucking crazy part. And back in Lenin's time, he was using secret codes. He was using disappearing ink. He was like eating shit if like he got caught with stuff. He had to like fucking hide in the fucking wilderness. There were people trying to assassinate him all the time. You fucking kidding me? That guy was the actual fucking, James Bond shit, like actually fucking like, hiding out from everyone and doing all this clandestine shit. And then you have it right in front of you. It's right fucking here. It's right on Marxist.org. And you're not even fucking reading that shit. And you're like telling China, oh, China, you're so fascist and appear. Like, you shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Who would be better at Texas Hold'em, Lenin or Malik El-Shabazz? Oh, that's a good question. I would say I would give it to Lenin still, because he actually did play chess regularly. So, I don't know. I'd have to see. But, on the other hand, Malcolm X was kind of a hustler. Probably would have a pretty good poker face, I would say. It depends. It depends on how much willing they are to put in time to study the game. I think if Lenin was determined, he would be able to dominate because he would probably learn game theory. And I think he probably would edge out Malcolm X in that regard. I don't know. It's a tough question. Tough question. Let's see the would you still recommend living in SoCal nowadays? Cost of living is wild there. Yeah, I mean, like, where are you at, young suit? It depends on where you're at now. They're more mad about China than 13 countries that vote in favor of, yeah, exactly. It's like Pakistan is not only Muslim, but it literally has nuclear weapons. If they said, "Hey, Israel, we don't like this plan," that would say a lot. That would send, shockwaves to the Muslim world. That would be like, "Oh, if Pakistan's not on board, maybe we shouldn't be on board either." All these other fucking, Sunni Muslim states. I said Sunni Muslimism is like the Catholicism of Islam, It's all this institutionalized fucking bullshit. Like, Catholicism is bullshit too, It's been bullshit since the Dark Ages, really. That's the one thing I agree with on the German philosophers, the bad boy German philosophers. On Catholicism, particularly, is fucking garbage. It's just like a fake religion. But yeah, Doug, what's your wait? What do you say? Wow, when Nishan Jones place totally blows. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just like every place blows now in America. It's just like out of the frying pan into the fire. I don't even know what to recommend anymore. China, I guess. It's always China. If you can get the fuck out of here and live in China comfortably, and you can adjust your life, that would be my recommendation. As an East Coast Marxist, I never understood LARPing. Sure, revolutionary image can be effective, agitprop in some scenarios, but what's the outcome? We need outcomes, not just rhetoric. Exactly. That's sloganism. That's what Stalin calls sloganism, I think. I think it was Stalin. Sloganism is just Trotskyism. It's just like, oh, viva la revolution. Do you hear the people singing the songs of angry men? It is the music that the people are... Lenin was so based, he had that shit dialed the fuck in. Yeah. And you know why? Because his big bro got assassinated, or not executed. His big bro got executed when he was 16 years old. And that changes a man. That changes a man. Your big bro gets executed. I mean, granted, he did try to kill the Tsar. So it was not like it was unwarranted. But your big bro tried to also save the other co-conspirators, saying it was all my fault. Kill me. It was just me. That's the Ilyanov fucking, I guess, principled people. They didn't give up their co-conspirators to try to save their own lives. It was just kind of like, no, kill me. It was me. It was just me. He had other. I think they caught the other people and killed them anyway. But that's how like dedicated his big bro was. And I think like when you see that, you're just kind of like, why was he that dedicated? And that's where, man, I'm like almost tearing up. Like I'm getting emotional now. Oh man, that's like, man, when you see your big bro like just sacrifice himself, like it's like, man, there must have been a cause. There must have been a reason. Like he read all of his shit. Like so, this big bro had all of this shit that revolutionary material, which was mostly anarchist at the time. But like he was reading all of it, and then he found Marx's theory as well. But that's why Marx, Leninist has kind of a, he wasn't about waiting around until capitalism developed and brought socialism, because the people would have nothing to lose but their chains. Like, no, we're not gonna wait around for that shit. We're gonna fucking get socialism now. He was a man of action. He knew what he wanted, and he stopped at nothing to get it. And he knew that there was a good possibility that he would never even see it in his life. But that was a sacrifice his own brother made. So I think in his own mind, he was like, if I'm not willing to make the sacrifice my own brother made, he never saw shit. He died not even knowing if anything was going to happen out of it. If he died in vain, if he died whatever. And so, yeah, I'm just kind of like, that's why, like I said before on stream, that's why Ho Chi Minh's my guy, and that's why Lenin's my guy, right? You know, two people who I know just fucking sacrificed everything, or were willing to sacrifice everything, right? Like Lenin literally got shot, right? And Ho Chi Minh was gonna die. He was never gonna see Vietnam be won. Um, he actually didn't want his body preserved. He wanted his ashes. Once Vietnam was liberated, he wanted his ashes spread across all of Vietnam. That was his wish. Um, and so hopefully, you know, I'm hoping one day that he'll get his wish. When the world becomes fully communist, there is no need for them to hold his body anymore. You know, the revolution's won. Man, this weed withdrawal is really making me emotional. Jeez. Oh man, I don't know how that happened. Started going crazy. Now I'm getting emotional. All right, see you, young suit. China's fascist because it doesn't open itself for liberal subversion. Yeah, exactly. It's retarded. So, what's up, Real and Real Nilp? Checking in post-R. Everyone checks in. Sometimes I think about how the Soviets caught wind during the siege of Leningrad and the Nazis were going to raid the Hermitage Museum, so they snuck out every artwork, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know about that part. I have to research that. But yeah, man. All right, it's been a couple of hours. Let me check the NGL, see if anyone asked me any questions. But feel free to ask anything right now. I'm about to end the stream. If anyone has any more things to say, want me to talk about anything before I go. Nope, nothing there. What's your opinion on the Romans? What do you mean? The Roman Empire? The entire Roman Empire? What do you want? What aspect? I mean, I'm not even an expert on the Roman Empire, to be honest. But what aspect of the Romans are you curious about? You're gonna have to be a little bit more specific. Yes, they hated the Anglo-Whites. Oh yeah. I only learned that kind of recently, a couple weeks ago, but I find that funny. I think like, what was it like? I think it was like Seneca or one of them. You know, they were like, Jesus, these Anglos are by far the most retarded people we've ever seen in our lives. I think they said there's nothing redeeming about these people. Why did we conquer them? They were essentially like, what are we doing what are we doing in England? That was hilarious. I get it. Emotion, remembering communist history as well. These revolutions were anything but cynical. They really exemplify heroism in a way that bourgeois literature can't. Yeah. That's why I'm like, you know, in a way, reading all this shit in the past few years, like I can't even like watch Hollywood in the same way. Like, I don't know if it's a combination. I think, you know, obviously it's a combination of a few things. Hollywood's sucking so bad now. But it's also kind of like, even when I watch old stuff again, I'm just kind of like, oh man, this is kind of infantile. This is kind of like childish. This is kind of like, I don't know. You're just like, you know what it is? It's like we've been fed all this fucking fast food entertainment, and like, you know, to distract us from the fucking steak, you know, the fucking steak of narratives, of literature, of like fucking the real world, you know? I don't know why this keeps fucking doing. Yeah, there we go. You know, I'm like, you know, I have Goethe Faust on my list of things to read. I'm actually kind of excited to read it. Because I hear it's pretty interesting. But it's just kind of like, man, we were told to believe that like Shakespeare was this and that, and Charles Dickens was this. And I'm like, bro, English literature is kind of mid. English culture is kind of mid. Like even compared to like German shit, I'm just kind of like, oh man, that sucks. Why is being cynical, edgy so popular anyway, in your opinion, Doug? Well, I think it's because it provides this safety, um, kind of like a shield, a protective shield. Like if you're cynical about everything, then you kind of like place yourself above everything. But then what that does is that it's kind of like this mentality, I think, for Gen Z people. I was talking about this with my screenwriting friend actually. And he said to me that when he was talking to like non-white kind of writers, like 15, like teenagers, right? He would say to me that kind of like that they would always kind of say like, "Oh, I want to get into Hollywood because I want to tell the Asian American story. I want to tell the Indian American story. I want to tell the Black American story. I want to tell the, like," and all they do is think about like how to make these characters perfect and whatever. Kind of like, stupid fucking stories that just, it's not really about telling a good story. It's about like all this shit we see now, the DEI shit in the past 10 years in Hollywood. It's all about like identity politics. I want to be the first person that makes, the black Star Wars or black, James Bond or some shit. It's like they don't understand. They don't understand what it is to be vulnerable. I feel like that's the problem with Gen Z because they're like they're the real true internet generation where they grew up with the internet from a very young age. I'm kind of like that because I'm a computer nerd. I've been online since probably the age of 11 or so. Um, Maybe 12. But I've been on the internet for a long time, but I'm kind of like rare in that regard. But Gen Z, they've all been on the internet since they were kids, right? They're kind of like the first digital generation. And because of that, they're all kind of like grew up in this comparing sort of reality where it's like, oh, everything lives on the internet. Everything's permanent on the internet. So I got to be perfect. I got to protect my internet persona. I got to protect my digital avatar, my pseudo identity on the internet. Otherwise, if I mess up in any way, that's going to live with me forever. I'm like never going to live it down. So I can't be cringe in any way online. So they try to like build up this like protectiveness of their own identity online because it's like the end all be all. Like if their internet identity is attacked, then their soul is attacked in some way. So when they get into this mentality, it's always about being better than everyone, being more righteous than everyone, being more, perfect than everyone. And if they're not good at anything, that's why they become cynical, because it's easier to point out what's wrong with everyone if you're never doing anything, right? If you never do anything, then nobody can point out how you're doing it wrong. So they just become cynical because they're not skilled at anything. So they paint themselves as these critics, as these, cultured critics, these ultra hipsters whose value is contained in how much they can call out things for being cringe, how much they can call out things for not being cool, and they're like, yeah, see, that sucks, that's whatever. You know, there's been even like people who've built their brands on just being a troll, right? Like I think in the 2010s there was this Rice Scum, right, on YouTube. His whole thing was just making fun of other YouTubers. It wasn't making like other shit up. He was just like making these stupid raps about other YouTubers, I think. And then he got big and whatever. And he turned out to be a total douchebag. And that was that, right? That was what this culture kind of created for Gen Z. And so that's why they tend to be these cynical people, because they're too afraid to take risks. They're too afraid to try something new, to get good at something, to put the time in getting something, because like they're thinking to themselves, "Oh man, what if I put so much time into this and I end up not being good at it? That would be a waste of time." You know, so they don't even try. They don't even start things because they're too worried about not of failing. So they land on this easy thing of being like, "You know what? I'm just going to be a critic. I'm just going to critique everything. You know, I'm just going to learn a lot of stuff to critique it, but I'm not going to actually create anything myself. Because if I create anything, now that lives on the internet. Now that lives forever. Now that always represents me. That'll stay with me forever wherever I go. And if it's not good, well, that's bad. So, you know." And that's why they always hate someone like me, right? Because you know me, I am not afraid to be cringe. I am not afraid of anything anymore, right? Part of it is because I'm an unk, right? I'm an unk. I'm 42. I don't care about being cringe because I'm too old to care. I don't have all these young people to impress. You know, I don't have all these fucking people. They're all fucking married with kids, whatever. They don't care if I'm cringe or not. You know, I don't. So it's like, oh, you're making fun of me for being an incel? Great. It's not like that's like something I haven't heard like 1,000 bajillion times. I've heard it. I've accepted that I'm going to be called an incel no matter what. You know, I've been called an incel by people many, much more uglier than I am. And it just makes me laugh. You know, I'm kind of like bulletproof in that way. They make all these lies up about me. I'm like, it just amuses me now. I'm just like, oh, you are not creative. Is that the best you could? Is that the best you could come up with? Huh. That's interesting. You know, like people try to troll me. Like I put these fucking videos up where I'm like rapping and singing into the camera. You know, I had to take that. I wanted to keep that up, but the people in my party told me to take it down, so I took it down. You know, and then people, you know, within the party who think that you know, that makes me look cringe or embarrassed or something, they try to like troll me with these pictures, and I'm like, bro, I put that shit up on purpose. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. Yeah, I'm cringe. I own it. I don't care. And it's still so funny. These Gen Z fuckers. They think that they think that I care. Oh man. You know, that's the funny part about you know, one of my enemies, you know. One of my Taiwanese Trotskyite enemies. The way he was trying to insult me, I was just like so revealed. I was like, "Oh, this is what you care about. You care so much about your image. You care so much about being known as a good rapper. Even though you know in the heart of hearts, if you really examine your heart of hearts, you'd see the truth, but you're too scared to admit the truth. So you come up with these like fucking qualifiers saying, at least I'm able to make money doing my hobby that's not even my profession. And it's like, yeah, it's not expensive to make an album, bro. Especially if you're self-producing, apparently, probably. That's why it sounds like shit.
Yeah, and I guess it's not hard to make your money back when you're desperately fucking promoting it to your following, and I guess they buy it because they feel sad for you and sorry for you. So, good job, I guess. You're really moving Taiwan's political sphere with your raps. It's just so funny because like the way he was trying to insult me, he was like, "Oh, my thing is going to be more popular than my TV show," and I'm like, "Bro, I'm a communist now. I don't care about Hollywood. What are you talking about?" And this fucking retard Nepalese, like Trotskyite now, like I used to be fucking following. She's like, I remember when you got so mad when all these girls were telling you you were ugly. I was like, do you see yourself right now? You are an ugly ass bitch. What are you talking about? What are you fucking talking about? This is like when, remember when last time I was talking about how I got all rejected from one of these colleges? You know, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, whatever. I was like, kind of like, okay, fine. Harvard, Yale, Princeton, fine. But Columbia? How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you, Columbia? You piece of shit school. You don't even deserve to reject me. That's how I felt about this bitch. I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Like you have the nerve to try to insult my looks looking like that with your fucking bad hair, your try-hard lipstick that's off color, your fucking crazy eyes, your fucking like goofy face. Are you fucking kidding me right now? You look like a fucking weirdo psychopath. Like get the fuck off me. You don't even deserve to fucking insult me. You don't even deserve to be on my level. Like get the fuck out of here. You know, I was just like fucking laughing to myself. I'm just like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, geez, Louise. These Gen Z people, they're so fucking insecure. They try to LARP as if they're these tough people and nothing could touch them, but it's so easy. Like, I don't know why these fucking zooming in on me. It's so easy to tilt them. It's like I find their pressure points so easily. It's not even fucking funny. Like that's how I dismantle them. They don't realize I got unk game. When you're not exactly real life lip, if you're not afraid to be embarrassed, you're invincible against these kinds of people. Because they are. And you can use that against them. When they try to embarrass you, you analyze how they're trying to embarrass you. And you're like, oh, this is how I can embarrass you if I can point out something about you in this way. Because you think that because you're saying it to me that this is going to work on me. No, you're actually projecting what's going to embarrass you. So let me see something about this on you that's going to be embarrassing. And it's so easy. I just like fucking, it's like my Sifu says, you know, like heart 1, spleen 5, you know, like all these pressure points, you know. And I'm like, bro, it's so fucking easy. It's just like boom, 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 and you're done. You're fucking done. You think I was born? It's like, you know, the Bane quote in Dark Knight. You know, you think you adopted the darkness? I was born in the fucking darkness, okay? I was born trolling people. I was born trolling people like double my size. You know? I didn't give a fuck when I was a kid. I was crazy as fuck when I was a kid. You don't fucking even understand how crazy. Yeah, I might be a fucking nerd, but I was a crazy motherfucker too. I didn't fucking care. When it came to like getting vengeance. I didn't fucking care. That's what people don't understand about me. I'm fucking crazy, man. I'm fucking crazy. I'm a little psycho. I'm not gonna lie. He's like I was around a lot of psychos, that tried to fucking try it with me. And that's how I pulled out my Sharingan. I was like, Sharingan. I was copying their shit. But yeah, that's that question, real Nilp. I don't know if that answered your question, but I think it did. I tried to buy a Faust book online, but I refuse to make a deal with the dev. I mean, Amazon. Oh. I want to see someone who looks like me do normie stuff is basically that line of thinking. Yeah. I don't like shopping there either. Replace normie with actiony, edgy stuff. That's probably what the lefts are saying about. Cynical neocons. Doesn't help that some of the Western media franchise started in the 80s. McCarthy brain rot. Yep. Star Wars could have moved the needle with the Vietnam allegory, but maybe a little too late. Well, yeah. I mean, Hollywood's always been fucking propaganda garbage anyway. Started with Gen Xers trend of being cynical. Not afraid to be embarrassed. Yeah. Doug, you sound like an Uncle Soiji. Soiji? Is that his name? So? It did answer my question. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. All right. Well, that's going to be it for me unless there's anything else. It's been over 2 hours now. But that's it. That is it. Alrighty. I'll talk to you guys later. Be here a Sunday. Unfortunately, I won't be able to finish, I think, the episode I'm working on. I've been working on hardcore, though. Trust me. I'm on 31 pages. 31 pages on the first part. It's not even the Better Call Saul part. 31 pages, and I'm still going. A few more pages, probably. Oh. So my uncle. So easy. So easy, baby. So easy. Exactly. All right. I guess I'll talk to you guys later.